Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call this regular board meeting to order, August 18th, 2020 at 7 p.m. Kelly, please call a roll.
Trustee Garcia.
Here.
Trustee Malone.
Here.
Trustee O'Sullivan.
Here.
Trustee Andreessen.
Here.
Trustee Frost.
Here.
Trustee Vela.
Present.
President Skillman.
Present. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I was going to say national anthem. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay. We have a proclamation tonight. The Village of Carpentersville proclamation recognizing August 31st, 2020 as International Overdose Awareness Day. Whereas the Village of Carpentersville joins communities worldwide recognizing August 31st as International Overdose Awareness Day. And whereas International Overdose Awareness Day originally started in Australia as an initiative of the Salvation Army in the year 2001. And whereas International Overdose Awareness Day provides an opportunity for people around the world to mourn loved ones and honor and remember those who have lost their lives to an overdose and to reduce the stigma. And whereas numerous participating organizations use this occasion to educate policymakers and the public about growing overdose crisis in the United States and abroad, thereby offering concrete solutions that would possibly save lives. And whereas in 2010, Illinois enacted overdose protection law, which allows trained individuals to administer life-saving drugs in the event of an overdose. And this law would further save lives by protecting friends and family who seek medical help for those who overdose from arrest or prosecution from the possession of small amounts of drugs. Now, therefore, I, John Skillman, President of the Village of Carpentersville, do hereby proclaim August 31st, 2020 as Overdose Awareness Day in Carpentersville in the memory of those who have lost their lives and live with permanent injuries resulting from drug overdoses. Thank you.
And President Skillman, I just wanted to point out our past resident was the one who used to always do this, Terry Lynn Dudar, who passed away this year. So just pointing that out,
Terry?
I wanted to make sure we did it this year, especially as she was a champion of it.
Yes, she did. She was a nice lady, helped us with our committee, and her son had overdosed. So, okay, so any public comment? Chris,
Yes.
you update us on the Kane County Board, please?
Yeah.
I have to put you on the agenda, I guess. So.
Can I get on the agenda? Wow, John.
No,
Thank you,
just kidding.
Mr. President and trustees. I'm happy to be here, and I applaud the recognition of the overdose and awareness day, because I think it's really important. We're seeing a distinct, in the county, distinct increase in overdoses as well, as it is nationwide, so it's a crisis, and so I applaud your recognizing it. I just want to mention three things this morning real quick, or this afternoon. Gee, it's been a long day. I had spoken with Eric Johnson about the Solarize Chicagoland. The county is still involved in that program that is a cooperative program with a number of other counties and agencies to help promote solarizing or putting solar energy on private houses. And I have given Mr. Johnson a sign to post as well, somewhere around here hopefully, and I have other signs available if you'd like to help promote that. It's statewide, or actually it's in the Collier County, several of the Collier counties here that are participants in it, and it encourages people to go solar, and but the more solar that is in the program, the less expensive it becomes. There's a rebate at certain checkpoints, and all of the solar installer has been thoroughly vetted by the program here, so that it's a trustworthy vendor, and it offers a chance for savings as well. I unfortunately fortunately or unfortunately got mine last year, so I missed out on it.
Is there a tax incentive in that program, Chris?
There is a significant tax. It dropped from last year. I think it's a federal tax credit, that comes off of the cost of the, in taxes. And there's also a state program as well that you qualify for. And this program helps people walk through their, the process of applying for those as well. And it also, there are several, it's called Solar Power Hour, that webinars that help encourage people and show them how to become involved. Second was, we're in Energy and Environment Committee, we are now developing a 5-year solid waste program for the county. And that will be having public hearings in the I believe it starts in October, but it has to be finished by the end of the year. So a 5-year program. So if you're interested in that, I encourage you to check the county website. And also, if you're interested in being a part of what it's going to be for the next 5 years in the county, to make your comments as well. And that'll be on the county website as well, the dates and times for that. It'll be during our Energy and Environment Committee, which I believe is the second Tuesday of every month at 9 a.m. And then finally, my understanding from the CAC committee is that they have sent out paperwork for the city, and Mr. Johnson is on that already, so for the allocation of funds to help rebate and cover costs for COVID expenses. And hopefully we'll get that operating very soon and getting money back before the end of the year, which it has to be spent, so. Or it has to be allocated. For a lot of it's been spent already. Qualifications. And I think that's it.
Anybody have any questions?
Thank you for your service.
Thanks very much for the
Thank you
update.
for your service. Thank you, sir. Okay, so appointments, confirmations, I need to go back. I'm looking for a motion to correct the reappointment of Mike Armato with the term ending May 2020 to the Business Development Commission.
So just so you know, last board meeting, it was listed incorrectly as 2020, which already passed. So this just puts it on the books to
Thank
correctly
you.
as 2022.
I'll make a
Motion.
motion for that, that correction.
I'll second.
Okay, motion by trustee Frost, second by trustee O'Sullivan. Roll call, please.
Trustee Malone,
Yes.
trustee O'Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Andreessen,
Yes.
trustee Frost,
Yes.
trustee Vela,
Yes.
trustee Garcia,
Yes.
and President Skillman.
Yes, motion carries to correct the reappointment. Thank you, Kelly. You want to talk again, Chris? Enough for one night, yes. Okay, next item on the agenda is consent agenda. All items listed on the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion. There will be no separate discussion on those items unless a trustee so requests, in the event the item will be removed from the general order of business and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda. So we have 3 items tonight, A, B, and C. Looking for a motion, please?
I'll motion to approve the agenda as is.
I'll second.
Motion by trustee Garcia to accept the consent agenda, A, B, and C, and seconded by trustee Andreessen. Roll call, please.
Trustee O'Sullivan,
Yes.
trustee Andreessen,
Yes.
trustee Frost,
Yes.
trustee Vela,
Yes.
trustee Garcia,
Yes.
trustee Malone,
Yes.
and President Skillman.
Yes, motion carries. Consent agenda approved. Next item, reports of manager and staff. Manager Johnson?
A few brief updates for the board. Staff did attend a CARES webinar that the county had put on about the distribution of funds for the county for COVID-19 related expenses. The village is entitled to about $2 million and up to $2 million in revenue. We are re-going through all of the tracking that we've done this year and attempt to recapture everything that is available. Once the county opens up, it's about a 2-week time period in which we'll be able to apply for funds, and we'll be submitting to get reimbursement for everything that we are entitled to for that. It segues nicely into, I don't know who brought all the wonderful census, Trustee Vela, thank you. As you guys are aware, a lot of the COVID response numbers are based off the census. Cannot stress it enough, it's important for all citizens to participate in the census. To give an update on some numbers, nationally, the response rate is 63.9%. In Illinois, Illinois is higher than that at 68.9%, and Carpentersville is above the state average at 73.5% response rate. Just keep encouraging friends, everyone you have a chance to promote the census to, that those are real dollars that end up benefiting our city, and our people are paying taxes for that, and we want to be able to recoup as much as we can.
Can I ask about the CARES reimbursement? So the $2 million is a ceiling based on the availability of funds times the formula.
Correct.
Have you got any preliminary numbers as to how much of that $2 million we've accounted for?
The last time I had checked, it was roughly about 150,000 of eligible expenses. We're still waiting for the final list. There might be more, depending on exactly what types of overtimes are allowed, what type of expenses. This is all based on, as I've been saying, we've been tracking per the FEMA guidelines before any of the CARES Act stuff's happened, because we knew they would be most likely allowed to seek FEMA dollars, and this is kind of in lieu of or in addition to that. So that is what I'm putting at our low end, because we tracked versus FEMA, and I'm sure if there's any additions, that would be the county would only add more things that we could potentially reimburse for, not less.
So of the 2 million eligible, we've only accounted for 150,000.
County's here, so don't talk about it too much.
No, I'm just trying to get a feel for what the ceiling is and what we've accounted for and what the gap is, and there's a significant gap, obviously.
Well, talking with other villages, mayors, cities, I mean, we're about right, actually, we're ahead of a lot of them that are our size. They've only accounted for $40,000-$50,000, and they're getting several $1 million. So it's a kind of it's a work in progress, I think, the chiefs and Brad, please talk. Yes.
Oh, I was just going to say, and Manager Johnson did task me to research a couple of particular expense categories to see if we couldn't expand, within the parameters, of course. So we're gonna take a deeper dive onto some expense items as well to try to fill in
I mean,
the gap there.
yeah, I mean, we were the leader at the county level, I believe, Chris, right? I mean, with the chiefs and with the FEMA paperwork that we filled out, so we've done a good job of documenting. So,
Great, that's fantastic. I encourage you to be not just creative, but aggressive in your pursuit of those funds, because they're there and they're available, and they'll be dispersed to other ways if we don't capture them. So I know you'll do the best you can.
That money has to go to COVID-related expenses?
Correct.
but we're looking at lots of different ways of relating, right?
Yes.
The
And
best
and
we-
we're also looking to see how far we can go. So, is it just overtime dollars? Is it overtime plus benefits? Is it overtime plus pension? How much can we add to those things that will qualify?
Well, there were hundreds of calls, obviously, related to this in the fire department alone, so I'm sure the chief has accounted for every nickel of that. And I'm sure that that's somewhere in that 150,000.
Yes. All supplies, all,
Everything,
Every last ace bandage, I'm sure.
fuel, everything,
All right,
we're going to keep looking for more.
thank you.
car washes.
I'm satisfied that you will, and that you are, and that you have.
Thank you. Quick, just recapping, I sent an email last week about the storm that came through last Monday, but just a recap of some of those numbers. ComEd indicated statewide at its peak there was about 800,000 residents that were without power for some time. Of that 800,000, we had about 2,500 in Carpentersville that experienced power loss for some period. That kept dwindling throughout basically Thursday afternoon when the last residents were able to get power. For anyone who was without power for an extended period, ComEd has opened up reimbursements for spoiled food and losses. So check your ComEd bill and call their customer service if you have any losses due to the extended power outage, encouraging residents to be able to recoup that.
We can get that online, Kevin, please?
Yeah, and we'll share those both on social media and our regular page. Part of the reason why the village did so well about 8 years ago, Public Works started an aggressive program on tree removal and right-of-way of dead or partially dead trees. Obviously, when a storm like this comes through, it knocks down a lot of branches. Every outage that we were able to account for was really private resident trees, so they weren't village-related trees, which is a testament to our staff staying on top of that. Helps people get back their power sooner and better response rate with that. I did drive around with Chief Schilling on the morning after. I think the worst thing we saw, there was a branch that had collapsed onto an active power line in a resident's backyard that was kind of sparking and catching on and off again. Our fire department did have to babysit that line until ComEd was able to come kill the power so that the garage didn't reignite. But our staff did a wonderful job. There's about 50 calls related to the storm, 20 for police, about 30 for fire for the event. Code enforcement and building department were out for 3 residences that had to be shut down due to damage. We're able to help get them relocated into hotels and get the process started. So on the whole, I think our staff did a wonderful job dealing with the storm, and we recovered quicker than some of the surrounding towns just because we were prepared and ready to go once it started. And that is, last item, the water bill incentive program that we had established a few months ago. Despite having a lot of promotion, we had both earned media, Daily Herald, the Courier News, we've been promoting on our website, Facebook, has had a lower response rate than we had hoped. And as long as there's no objection, I would like to extend the offer through the end of the fiscal year. Hopefully that more residents can take advantage of it and that we can continue to promote it and that residents can help receive some economic assistance through their water program and the SHOP CEVIL program.
What's the cost been to the village so far, Manager Johnson?
We've had, at this point, and we still have, until the end of the month was the original deadline, but we've had a little over 100 people apply so far. We've had thousands of responses based online and tracking of liking, sharing the post, questions that we've received. I'm doubtful that tens of thousands are going to apply, at the last minute, but we are well below what we had anticipated, so I'm comfortable being able to extend it.
So the impact to the businesses hasn't been quite what we'd hoped, obviously, if it hasn't cost us that much.
No, assuming people are tracking and turning it in. Our sales tax numbers that we get through the state have been showing better than expected, so people are obviously shopping local, but we want that to also translate into a benefit for them as well.
Survey. Right?
Well, you can't win them all.
We're still going, though. We're still trying. We'll just keep advertising it.
I think maybe the word just didn't get out in time.
We
I
also
think it's a good
started,
idea
The word
to,
got out.
I'm saying maybe people are just now realizing, so extending it to the end of the year.
Yeah,
I think we were more
Yes.
excited about going out
Yeah,
than saving the receipt.
I think we can ask the guys on Madison Avenue if every marketing campaign is a winner and you'll get an interesting response.
Right, exactly. It's like surveys, right? People don't want to do them, but that's okay. Thank you. Anything else? Can we get a construction update from Kevin or Ed soon?
yes, next meeting, we'll have them give a construction
Getting
update.
a lot of questions, or at least I am.
We are still, I did speak with them today, we are on pace for November 1st completion of the hill and reopening, so that is on track right now. We've had great weather, and Pelote has been out there and lots of construction. You can see the trucks and concrete being poured more rapidly than has happened in previous parts of the project.
Of 2020, just to be clear.
Correct.
Thanks, God. John. 31 will be completed too.
Yes.
They're moving really, they're doing well on that. So, driving through there a couple times today, but,
They
okay.
switch lanes again on 31. You got to be aware of that. From the morning to now, they switch the lanes.
Oh, okay. Well, just drive slow, Humberto.
I do.
Thank you. Okay, so next item on our agenda, old business. Kelly, we have no old business, no new business.
Correct.
Trustee reports, committee reports. Trustee Vela,
Nothing to report.
Trustee Andreessen,
I have nothing to report.
Trustee Frost.
Just the census, our village manager, Johnson mentioned it, just, it's important. It's important that we fill it out. Takes no time at all, so, that's it.
We'll keep promoting that. I mean, we're, everything.
Signs
Keep
are
pushing
out.
it, pushing. Everybody's got to get it done, 100%. Trustee O'Sullivan.
Nothing to report.
Trustee Garcia.
Of course. I want to thank Public Works. Last Monday after the storm, by the time I got home, I didn't saw the 3 trees that fall outside. I didn't realize until Friday that there's stumps. I never saw them. You guys did a phenomenal work. I had to go east of here. Barrington still had trees on the ground, branches, flooded streets. You guys did a phenomenal job. Thank you, guys.
That's it?
That's it.
Thank you.
It was short today.
Trustee Malone.
Nothing to report today.
Thank you, okay. Yeah, it's definitely, everybody did a great job on it, and we had some good communication between, staff and the board, I believe. Pretty good. You guys kind of knew what was going on, I believe, right? Everybody?
Yep.
So there was a lot more going on, but we didn't want to bore you too much with everything going on. But it was a good storm. Obviously, we weren't as bad as we thought it was going to be. Iowa got it. They're still having big problems, I believe, in Des Moines area. Chief Schilling knows that area well. I mean, we were actually, people are being called from here to go to help the people because they have no power and their basements are flooding. There's mold, it's a mess out there. So we got lucky. So, and our residents, I took a few phone calls for power outages, and most we were out was 3 days, I believe.
I think we were 100% restored by Thursday afternoon.
3 or 4 at the most, yeah, 4, 3.5, whatever. So, yeah, so we weren't too bad, but I still think that, and I think I brought up to Eric maybe or somebody about, I mean, this was a pretty good storm, really. I mean, tornadoes in Chicago, we've never seen that before in Rogers Park, I think it was. But I think that we have generators in the village, and there's trucks and stuff with generators. I think maybe there's a way that we could maybe help people if they really need it. I mean, I had a couple people with, my medicine's in the refrigerator, and I don't have air conditioning, I'm old. So, and I know we went out and checked on stuff, and we tarped off a roof and stuff like that. It was awesome, great work by the fire department. But I think there's a way, I mean, when I was at Home Depot, they didn't have any Home Depots in this all the way to Lake Zurich, to Elgin, everywhere. They didn't have generators left. So the manager told me they bought 10 generators the morning of the storm. And average price was like $500 a generator. So people spend a lot of money to get their power back on. So maybe it's something we can look at in the future. If there's a way, I don't know how many people we can feed off of one of those generators on the back of a trailer, on a truck, or I think we might have.
ComEd had portable units that they bring when there's a major catastrophe.
Right.
But when so many people got affected, I don't think that they have enough.
Yeah, we'd have to be self-sufficient, I think,
And we were one of the early areas. We had crews in town as soon as Tuesday morning, moving and doing stuff, which they tend to prioritize areas that they're not going to be able to get to. So we were lucky that they dispatched to us pretty quick.
Yeah, ComEd's really been better in the years. I mean, in the old days, it was, forget it. There was no communication. Now you can look at it online. They communicate with us. Our rep does. She emails us everything that's going on, so we know where people are. And I complain, and then she answers me. And for our residents, right? But Kevin Gray, I talked to a lot during the storms, and of course Eric. And we were on top of it. So drove around and listened to the generators early in the morning running, just hoping they had power by the next morning when I went there to see if a light was on or something, but no. But so we got lucky, I guess I'm trying to say. So anyways, where are we at? Okay. Committee reports, we're going to talk a little bit about that and this other business. We have no closed session tonight, guys? No,
Correct.
Kelly?
Correct.
All right. We will take a break now and get back to our other business in a couple minutes, okay? Thank you.